The moment the words left the boss's mouth, the entire office froze. "Look at me again and you are fired." Eli had not meant to look. He had only glanced up because he felt someone's gaze on him. He was new, trying to keep his head down, trying to keep this job that paid just enough to cover his daughter's school fees. He had no idea why the head of the company had exploded. The head of the company, Adrian Cole, swept past him as if nothing had happened. His jaw was tight, his shoulders rigid. The staff whispered to one another once he disappeared behind the glass doors of his office. Eli returned to his desk with his heartbeat still climbing. He promised himself he would not make a sound unless he absolutely had to. His little girl depended on this paycheck. After his wife passed, there was no room for mistakes. But the warning kept echoing inside him. He focused on his work until his eyes blurred. By the time he left that evening, the lobby had emptied out. He walked toward the bus stop just outside the company entrance and found a young woman sitting on the bench. She was pale, hugging her arms as if trying to keep herself together. She looked up when she heard his steps. Her eyes were red, not from tears alone but from exhaustion so deep it seemed woven into her bones. "Are you all right?" Eli asked gently. She hesitated. "Not really. But I will be." He felt an old familiar ache in his chest. He knew what it was like to pretend everything was. "Do you need help finding a ride?" he asked. The woman studied him for a moment, as if trying to understand why he even cared. She nodded slowly. "If you could help me get a taxi, that would be great. My phone died." He smiled softly and waved down a taxi from the road. Just as she took a step toward it, her knees buckled. Eli caught her before she hit the pavement. "You are not fine at all," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. For a second she rested against him, trembling. Then she pulled away. "I am sorry." "Thank you." She slipped into the taxi, murmured her destination to the driver, and disappeared. Eli did not ask her name. He assumed he would never see her again. The next morning, he arrived early to avoid crossing paths with the head of the company. But fate had other ideas. As soon as he set his bag down, the door to the head office opened and Adrian Cole stepped out. His eyes went straight to Eli. Eli immediately looked down at his keyboard. "You. Office. Now." The room seemed to shrink around him. He followed, aware of curious eyes watching him pass. Once the door shut, Adrian stood behind his desk, staring at him with an unreadable expression. "Did you help a woman outside the building last night?" Eli blinked. "Yes." She looked unwell. She needed help. Adrian closed his eyes for a moment, not in annoyance but as if collecting himself. When he opened them, his voice had changed. Softer. Almost tired. "That woman is my sister." Eli felt the world tilt slightly. Adrian continued. "She has been struggling for a long time. Yesterday was one of her worst days. When she came home she told me someone helped her. She described you." Silence wrapped around them. "She said you were kind. She said you treated her like she mattered." Adrian's gaze shifted. "Most people do not. They judge her before she can speak." Eli did not know what to say. He only knew he had done what anyone should do. Adrian stepped closer. "I owe you an apology. I have been unfair to you." Eli swallowed. "Sir, I did not mean to upset you when I glanced in your direction. I only reacted without thinking." Adrian let out a long breath, this time loaded with something raw. "It was not your fault. I have been under strain because of my sister. I thought everyone was watching me, judging me. And when I saw you look up, I reacted in a way I should not have." He paused. "You are not fired. In fact, it is quite the opposite." Eli lifted his eyes, uncertain. Adrian went on. "My sister would like to thank you herself. She asked me to arrange a meeting. And I would like to talk to you about something else. Your work has been impressive. There may be a better position for you here. One with a higher salary. Eli's breath caught. Sir, that would change everything for my daughter. Adrian nodded. Then let us make it happen. Later that afternoon, Eli met Adrian's sister in the small company cafe. She looked rested, calmer. You saved me yesterday, she said softly. You did not know me, yet you helped me. It meant more than you can imagine. Eli smiled gently. Anyone would have done the same. She shook her head. Not everyone does. That meeting changed everything. Weeks passed and Eli settled into his new position. His daughter, bright and eager, started talking about dreams she once thought impossible. Adrian became less of a distant figure and more of someone who understood struggle. His sister visited often, always offering a warm smile and sometimes even helping Eli's daughter with homework while they waited for him to finish late shifts. The day Adrian approached him again, there was no anger in his eyes. Only gratitude. You taught me something, he said. You reminded me that kindness still exists. Eli smiled. You taught me something too. That people can change their first impression if given the chance. The moment that had once felt like the end of his career had instead become the beginning of a new chapter. All because he had stopped for a stranger on a cold evening.